let's talk about a topic that a lot of people ask me about, which is how is AI going to change music? I think from the perspective of most musicians, it's not going to be good. That's what I think. We shall see, because there are a lot of positive aspects to it, but I think for musicians, they're not going to like this. But let's check it out. We'll talk about some of the things that I've been kind of seeing over the past month or two, talk about where it might be headed, and look at the good and the bad. But I think it's mostly not going to be great for musicians. I don't think you're going to like this. But let's check out a few examples of this. So the first one that I think has been getting a lot of press over the past couple days. To make a long story short, somebody made an AI generated song with Drake and The Weeknd from somebody named Ghostwriter977 on TikTok. And as you can see here, this has already been taken down by the copyright owner. And my first, well, I'll play the song for you, then we can talk about it. So here it is. But first, I want to thank Sheath for sponsoring this video. Sheath was born out of an idea from a soldier in the US military when he was stationed in Iraq, where conditions are, as you can imagine, pretty hot and sticky, which means that things get pretty grimy and gross, you know, down there. It's a bad scene, right? And nobody wants that to happen to you. The basic idea is that their underwear has this dual pouch design right here that separates the twig from the berries. It's the perfect anatomically ergonomic design for your package that, to put it bluntly, keeps your balls from sticking to your legs. They also have some new options such as bamboo and mesh, and Sheath allows air to circulate around your package to keep it cool, which is not only more comfortable, but actually might be good for you. Multiple doctors and urologists are actually now recommending this, including my man Dr. Drew. And Sheath offers a huge variety of designs and patterns, with over 500,000 pairs sold, along with new bamboo shirts. Sheath has amazing customer service, super fast shipping, and over 20,000 5-star reviews. They're also involved with multiple charities like Men's Mental Health, homeless shelters, and Doctors Without Borders. So gentlemen, click the link in the description of this video to enjoy a very special offer from Sheath. And thanks again to Sheath for sponsoring today's video. This is not actually Drake and The Weeknd, but it sure fucking sounds like it. And it's pretty good. Sounds pretty good, right? And here's the Weeknd part. This transition here was a little bit rough. Right? That's a little bit rough. So that's the song. As you can tell, it's pretty fucking good. And I think Morgoth is right. It's going to be bad when kids don't care if it's AI or the real people. I'm sure that day is coming. Yeah, I don't think most people will care. All people care about is the song catchy or not, right? Like, that's all that matters to most people. Drake is not happy about it, by the way. This is from Drake's story. So there's another one where it's Drake doing a cover of Munch by Ice Spice, and he's not happy about it. He said, "This the final straw, AI." How does Drake always sound so silly when he's like trying to be tough and intimidating? This the final straw, AI. As though AI is like an actual person for one. This is the final straw. That's like something your grandpa would say. This is the final straw, young man. Super corny. Anyway, people are not happy about it. And I understand why, to be fair. I mean, if I was him, I wouldn't be happy. Like, well, people actually do. You can go look on TikTok. There's all those memes about the presidents and stuff. And there's some of them using my voice because there's enough of my voice out there that people are making deep fakes of me saying shit, you know, and to be honest, I don't like it. It's scary. Like, people are going to deep fake me saying some horrible thing and people might think it's real. So I understand why he doesn't like it, but let me just show you how this actually works. It's not exactly what people might think. It's not like you just type in the lyrics, you know, you don't just press a button and say, make me a song with Drake and The Weeknd, and then it spits that out. It's not quite that yet, although I think it probably will be. This is from a couple weeks ago. This is one of the first things to kind of go viral. The way it works now is you have to record your own reference vocals, and then you run it through the AI, and it can make it sound like someone else. So here's this guy. He did one of the earlier like Kanye sound-alikes. You can check it out here.
You might notice that I sound like Kanye
This guy,
West.
Roberto Nixon.
No, Yeezy didn't record a voiceover for me for this video. I didn't learn how to do it.
And you can hear, this is not his voice. This is Kanye's voice applied to him.
You might notice that I sound like Kanye West. No, Yeezy didn't record a voiceover for me for this video. I didn't learn how to do impressions. This is AI.
So let me come back to my original voice for a second because this is crazy. Today on Metaverse, I posted AI Kanye covering popular songs. Here's an example of him singing Day and Night.
Whoa, I toss and turn, I keep stress in my mind.
So that's clearly crazy. And I started thinking, you know, what are the implications of this for the music industry? Now all you have to do is record.
Yeah, it doesn't sound perfect. It doesn't sound perfect, but it sounds pretty good, and it's only going to get better is the real point. And most people, they don't care. Like, they're not going to listen to it and hear that they're not going to hear the imperfections, and it's only going to get better. But anyway, here's how it actually works. He'll show you recording his reference vocals and then turning it into Kanye. You'll see how it works.
Reference vocals and replace it with a trained model of any musician you like, which is exactly what I did. I found this Kanye style beat on YouTube. I wrote 8 bars and I'm going to record them now, and then I'm going to have AI Kanye replace me. I got a fantasy that's beautiful, that's dark and twisted, but I attacked the whole religion all because of my ignorance. What was I thinking? That was some bitch shit. I lost Adidas, but I'm still Yeezy. Back in the kitchen, man, I'm a genius. Boys in the hood, just like I'm easy. Kanye, Weezy, Southside of Chicago, life ain't easy. All praise be to Lord Jesus. Donda, please rest easy. All right, let me cut it there. So let's hear those vocals I just recorded now with Kanye over them.
I got a fantasy that's beautiful, that's dark and twisted, but I attacked the whole religion all because of my ignorance. What was I thinking? That was some bitch shit. I lost Adidas, but I'm still Yeezy. Back in the kitchen, man, I'm a genius. Boys in the hood, just like I'm easy. Kanye, Weezy, Southside of Chicago.
I mean, it's pretty fucking good, right?
Praise be to Lord Jesus. Donda, please rest easy. All right, let me cut it there.
Like, if you listen closely, you can hear that it's not perfect. But again, this is only going to get better. You know, give it 6 months, let alone a year or two, and it's only going to get better. That's pretty crazy. Imagine if they did this to dead artists. Like, people, they will. For sure they will. Whatever you think about the current technology, give it 6 months, give it a year, and it's going to be even better. It's already pretty damn good. And people are not happy about this. People in the music industry are not happy about it because, like I said, you can see here from the tweet that I originally was going to look at earlier today when I was researching this song was up. This was the Drake and Weeknd song. The industry's already cracking down on it. They've had people remove all of these from YouTube and Twitter and Spotify and stuff. And it's kind of interesting to me because I understand if you say that this is Kanye, yeah, you should take it down. Because you're impersonating Kanye. But if it's just making it sound like Kanye, well, can you really claim ownership of that song? I don't know if you can. I think that's going to be something that the courts have to decide. It's very unclear who owns this, and we're going to find out. Like, it might be covered under fair use. This is going to go to the Supreme Court, I think. Like a lot of people in the chat are saying, this does remind me of Napster, because as soon as Napster came out and everybody loved it, it was clear where things were headed, right? And the industry tried to shut it down, and they actually did. On the one hand, I feel like the industry is making a mistake by trying to fight it. On the other hand, it's like, well, you can't have people making fake Drake songs, you know? You can't do that either. So it's a very genuinely tricky situation where I don't know what's right. I really don't know what's right. The law will have to permit trademarking the voice to stop it. Well, that actually already exists. One thing to be aware of, I'm obviously not an attorney, but there is actually precedent on this. Back in 1998, Bette Midler sued Ford because they used a sound-alike. So they originally used Bette Midler in their commercials, and then they stopped working with her and found someone who sounded like her to do their commercials going forward. And so she successfully sued them for $400,000 in damages, saying, like, basically, you can't replace me with a sound-alike. So I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know what, you know, sort of, I don't know what the larger scale ramifications of this are. But, you know, your voice is your likeness, you know, and you can't just use someone's face in an ad or in a song, nor should you be able to use someone's voice without their permission, right? I mean, that'd be fucked up. I wouldn't want someone using my AI generated voice in something to make it sound like I was affiliated with something that I'm not. So there is some precedent on that. But what I've heard a lot of people say is like, oh, well, this works because rap and pop are so formulaic. It's easy to create AI generated versions of that. This will never happen to rock because, you know, rock is too complex and blah, 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 all the other things that people say about rock, as though rock is somehow more complicated art than any other genre of music. But that is not true. Let me show you an example of this. This is from a couple months ago. This is apparently a completely AI generated Amon Amarth type orc band. This is called Frostbite Orckings. And apparently all of this, apparently the lyrics and the music and the video are all generated by AI. And this is a metal band. And I'm not going to say this is the best thing of all time, but it's not the worst. It's pretty good. Like, this is pretty good, right? I don't know what game this is, by the way, but I want to play it. Yeah, everything is AI in this, as far as I understand. This new Raid Shadow Legends expansion pack looks amazing. I mean, this is pretty good. Is this the best thing in the world? No, but it's pretty damn good, right? I mean, I've heard lots and lots of melodic death metal that's worse than this. This would main stage at Wacken, for sure, exactly. So, you know, if you think that rock is immune to AI, you are wrong, because here's proof. And again, this is only going to get better. This is only going to get better. So, you know, if you're a musician, you know, I think there's reason to be worried about this, to be honest with you, because at the end of the day, music is all just math, at least on a certain level. You know, what is a genre other than a certain set of conventions in terms of this note comes after that note and this rhythm and that rhythm? Like, you feed it enough songs in a given genre into it, it's going to be able to spit something out that's at least pretty good. It may not be the very best, but it's going to be pretty good. Where I think this is going to really cause problems is in a couple places. So number one is going to be people who compose for film and TV, who do original music for that stuff. So like, if you make, I don't know, the score to whatever, like a low budget TV show, I think we'll be able to just use an AI to generate a pretty good score for something like that. You know, you pay $50 a month or whatever for the software. You just show it the video and it'll put out a score that's pretty good. Yeah, music for ads. I think a lot of those cases where it's just sort of like, I'll say like commodity music, I think it's going to take a lot of jobs away from the people who do that work now. The other thing I think that you'll see for sure, here's what's going to happen. There is going to be a song that goes to number one that's AI generated with an AI generated video and an AI generated character. You remember Gorillaz, right? Like back in the 2000s, you know, the animated band or whatever. It will go to number one because people don't care. Most people do not care. Like you're saying, I get it. There's no human soul in AI generated music or art for that matter. I miss when music had little mistakes because it was made by a human. You're right. I get that. It's true. But most people don't care. If they hear something that's catchy, that's all they care about. And so I think when it comes to sort of anybody who, the people who should be worried about this is anybody who is, I'll just say, less than elite. Like if you're only just okay, you should be worried about this, because if you're like metalcore band number 9,000,001, there is no difference between a generic metalcore band played by humans and a generic metalcore song generated by AI. Nobody will care. And this is true for every genre. We all saw this coming when VTubers started popping off. Yeah, that's true. Nobody's going to care. All that they will care about is this a catchy song? So what's going to be important is two things. Number one is the live experience. So, for example, people still, like when people go to a show, partly they want to hear the song, but partly what they're there for is a live experience. So even if an AI writes the song, there still will be a job for the performer. And again, this kind of goes back to the way things used to be back in the day, back in the 40s, 50s, 60s, or whatever, when someone like Elvis Presley, who did not write a single one of his songs, he would just go up there and play because people wanted to see Elvis. So I think the live show will still matter, although it wouldn't surprise me if there's a day where it's just a hologram generated AI, for real, or sorry, AI generated hologram playing AI generated songs with AI generated light show and stuff. That would not surprise me one bit. With robots performing, that's going to happen. But what I don't think we'll be able to replace is the actual humans making this stuff and the story behind them. For example, if you talk about someone like King Von, for anybody who doesn't know, he's dead now, but King Von was one of the most fascinating rappers of the past 10 years or so, who was about to blow the fuck up. And the reason why is because King Von was this genuinely terrifying gangster who allegedly killed 7 people. Whether he did or didn't, it actually doesn't matter. But he has this crazy story about his life, and people are interested in his music because they care about his story. The same thing with Ronnie Radke. People care about Ronnie's music partly because he's a very interesting person who says a lot of shit that gets your attention. So you can make AI music, but I think still without the right person behind it, it's not going to resonate the same. People are not going to like to hear that because a lot of musicians forgot that their job is to be an entertainer. Their job is not to play guitar. You might think that's your job. It's not. Your job is to entertain people. If all you can do is play guitar and write kind of mediocre riffs that could be replaced by an AI, well, that's who should be worried. AI can generate an artist with a perfect tragic backstory. That might be true too. We'll see. If that's true, then I don't fucking know. And it could happen. That could happen too. It will happen to some extent, but I don't think we're going to be able to completely replace the humans who are at the center of all this. I don't think we're going to be able to replace that, but maybe so. That could happen too. But what I can tell you is where we're headed in the very near future is that everything is going to be fake. You're going to go on TikTok and it's going to be an AI generated thirst trap doing an AI generated dance to an AI generated song. And you're going to watch it and you're going to like it. That's what's going to happen. And it's fucking weird, right? It's super weird. This is most definitely going to happen. You're going to hear this song and you're going to see some hot girl, some hot fake girl dancing on TikTok to it, and you're going to be like, damn, this song bangs and that girl's hot, and I know this is fake, but so what? I don't care. That's what's going to happen, and it's going to be really, really, really weird. It's going to be really weird. I don't know. That part's weird to me. If we're all consuming sort of knowingly fake stuff and we don't care, then we are kind of in the Matrix, right? We're kind of in the Matrix at that point. We have taken the blue pill and said, I know this is all fake, but plug me in anyway. And that's kind of scary, but I think that's where we're headed. However, in the meantime, I do think there are some positives. So I tweeted about this, and Matt from Avenged Sevenfold said, it will be incredibly good for artists to use AI to their advantage through prompts, etc. For example, show me 4 unique chord changes, show me 5 vocal melodies with different moods. Take these new ideas and build from there. Endless possibilities in the short term. And I agree with that. I do think in the short term, it is going to be a helpful part of the creative process, because I do that with my videos. For example, the video that I did about the one about metal songs that will be future classics, I came up with that title with ChatGPT. I said, give me 10 ideas for YouTube videos about metal songs that will be future classics. And it gave me a bunch of them, and I took one of them and I modified it a little bit, and I used that for my title. I've used it to help me generate the intros to videos too. And I use it as a starting point and I change it, but it's a really helpful tool to kind of help you get started or get over a creative block. So I think in the short term, he's right. It will be a useful creative tool. But in the long term, I think that we are headed for the Matrix. I really do. And it feels weird to say this because I'm not one of these people to paint a scary picture of technology in the future, and I'm generally pro technology, But I think we are headed for the Matrix. We're going to be consuming AI generated content on a timeline that is curated by an AI that knows exactly what we like. And we're going to know that all of this is fake. And we've created systems that are just going to push all the buttons in our brain that make us feel good. And we're going to know that this is happening, and we're going to let it happen. No, it's true. This is not boomer shit. This is real. It's already fucking happening. Digital drugs. That's what it is. It's digital drugs. We're just going to plug in and we're going to say, I know this song is fake. I know this thirst trap in the video dancing to it is fake, but I don't care because it makes my brain feel good. Morgoth is right. Younger kids are really not going to care whether it's fake or real in 20 years. I don't even think it's going to take 20 years. I think it's going to take 5 years or maybe even less. That's what I think. So people, this is the future. It's coming. You can't ban it. The labels will take things down. Somebody's going to ban this or that. But in the big picture, you can't stop this stuff. Because even if the United States bans it, people just VPN to China and do it. It doesn't matter. The genie is out of the bottle. It's coming. So buckle up, people. Buckle up. The world is going to look very different in a few years. That's what I think. It is a little bit scary. It's a little bit scary, not gonna lie, but that's what's happening. So buckle up, people. And the real question is, do you even know that the real Finn is talking to you right now? Or is it possible that you're just talking to an AI? Just blew your mind, homie. Blew your mind, homie. There it is. There's your dystopian thought for the day.